Hello and welcome to the Bloomberg Quint, and we have a special presentation on MSME Day. This is a big day for MSME sector. During pandemic, there are challenges and the way forward we need to know. And we have a very special guest for that, Mr. Dinesh Kumar Khara, Chairman of State Bank of India. Thank you for your time, sir. Before we start talking about MSME sector per se, I would like to capture your overall view about our economic situation today.
Thank you, Sanjay ji, for having me on your show. And when it comes to economy, of course, we have seen the last year, which is the financial year 21, we have seen ups and downs and very rapid ups and downs. So, if I may say so, the first 2 quarters, I think the economic activity was quite lull, and thereafter it picked up, and it picked up very well. That the compression, which was expected to be somewhere around 8%, actually we could have the compression of just about 6%. And also the last quarter witnessed a positive number of 1.2%. So I think that way, at one point of time when the pandemic started, the expectation was that probably it will compress by about as high as about 25%. So as against that, the compression was just about 6.3%. But yes, of course, soon thereafter, when everything was going very fine, somewhere in the middle of April, the wave two came in, and wave two came in with a whole lot of intensity. That actually led to a situation where April and May, we had a situation where various state governments imposed lockdowns, and which actually disrupted economic activity quite significantly. But one thing which I would like to highlight is that even in those situations, also in the month of April, the GST collections were as high as about 1.40 lakh crore, and similarly in the month of May also, it was about little more than 1 lakh crore. So I think that is GST is also a very, very critical component which cannot be left sight of when it comes to uh, weighing the economic activity. So I think that probably gives us a hope that with the unlock happening, which has been announced only very recently by many state governments, perhaps the rebound of the economic activity will be even faster what we have seen last year. Based on that, we can say it with some kind of a certainty that the rebound is likely to be even faster.
Looking at some data, GST is of course all encompassing data, but looking at vehicle registration kind of data and some other high frequency data, it looks like that June could also be a bit of a mixed bag.
Yeah, looks like, but yes, because for all purposes, the unlock has started happening only from this Monday onwards. So I think, but yes, if I may say so, the early indicators which are there, particularly the auto sector is one such sector which gives a lot of indicators. So demand upswing which is seen. So I think we are hoping that maybe June may be a little mixed, but if at all we can put the economy back on track from during the current month of June, at least from second quarter onwards, it will certainly bring in a lot of positivity in the economy also.
Yeah. Sir, I always maintain that when it is about macroeconomy or it is about your wallet or my wallet, the SBI chairman knows the most about everything. So looking at current conditions, if we have to focus on MSME, which is our critical backbone in Indian economy, how are they faring?
Yes, MSMEs probably went through a huge challenge in the last 2 months, because the cash flows certainly were disrupted for MSMEs. And that is one of the reasons why there were whole lot of steps taken by Reserve Bank of India and also by Government of India to support the MSMEs in this critical point of time. So, but yes, of course, having said that, I'm very mindful of the fact that they have got the capacity to come back also very fast. So that is something which is very positive for the MSMEs. They constitute the very important backbone for the economy, but nevertheless, if the cash flows comes back, they have got the ability to move very fast also.
Right. So will cash flow come? Because what is the latest trend in terms of household savings? Are people conserving cash? Because it looks like that consumption is not picking up.
Yeah, demand is a challenge. I must acknowledge and that is perhaps because when it comes to there is a very conscious effort on the part of the customers to conserve liquidity for the medical emergencies. And with that in mind, you would have observed about a week or 10 days back, we have also announced a product known as COVID Kavach, which is essentially meant for those customers who have spent money for the COVID treatment from April 21 onwards. And we have started extending them support to the extent of about 5 lakh rupees by way of a loan. So I think the intention is to take away the fear from the mind of the customers and to offer them this additional liquidity facility so that they should have their normal living, and also they should take care of the medical emergency if at all it arises. So that is something which has been done. But yes, of course, I fully agree that in last 2 months' time, because of the fear psychosis which was there, which has actually gripped the mindset of many. So there was an effort on the part of the customers to conserve liquidity as much as possible, which actually led to the discretionary demand being at its lowest step.
Right. So in that case, what do you think is going to happen to MSME sector? Which are the specific sectors you are more concerned than the other ones, and how to help them?
The sector which I feel got affected the most are essentially wherever the contact is something which is I mean, wherever contact is involved, those are the sectors which have suffered the most, and that being hotel, restaurants, and maybe saloons, etc. So these are the sectors. Tourism, of course, has suffered, and the public travel suffered. So that is something, that's a matter of concern. But yes, of course, to really help these sectors, various kind of steps have been taken. One, of course, there is a resolution framework which has been introduced by Reserve Bank of India, and initially it was up to 25 crore. Subsequently, in the recent policy announcement, that ceiling has been raised to 50 crores. All those people who are availing limits up to facilities up to 50 crores, they are the one who are eligible to avail the restructuring, and that I think is expected to go a long way. But herein I must mention that last year when we had a similar situation, whereas we had seen that almost about 8.5 lakh customers of SBI were eligible for availing the restructuring, and when the actual restructuring happened, it happened only to about 60,000 odd accounts. So that is something which we saw. I think that is also a function of the visibility of the cash flow. So I think much of it will depend upon how much repair to the cash flows happens to the MSME. That will probably decide that it will impact their decision to avail the restructuring or not to avail the restructuring. Similarly, we have also seen that perhaps it was a need of the economy when we had seen that there was a need for strengthening the health ecosystem, and for that the government has also announced a program which is ECGLS, and wherein all the hospitals where the oxygen generation facilities to be installed, and they have been covered, and this will be a government guaranteed scheme up to 100%, wherein up to 2 crore worth of loans can be granted, and it will be at a 7.5%. So I think that way that has been done. Apart from that, RBI has also come out with a new scheme wherein they have said that if at all COVID book is created, which is essentially to support the healthcare system, infrastructure relating to healthcare. So if at all that is done by the banking system, it will be eligible for funding also up to 50,000 crore through the repo route, reverse repo route, and repo route, and also it will allow banks to have the benefit of earning 40 basis point over and above the reverse repo rate. Apart from that, this will also be eligible to be reckoned for the priority sector. As you are all aware, the priority sector is one of the major concern for the banking system. So this is a great opportunity, and I think all banks are very anxiously looking at it to support this kind of a initiative taken by the RBI and the government. And I'm sure it will go a long way, because it will certainly have an impact in terms of the ripple effect on the economy, and which will also generate opportunities for SMEs, and also will generate cash flow for the SMEs also.
What is your sense of sort of expectation that people will be asking for this kind of loan? What will be the demand situation?
We have already started reaching out to the potential customers, and we are quite hopeful that we'll be in a position to create a book of about 2,000 to 2,500 crore out of this.
Also, sir, give us an overview of the credit demand situation. We understand that big companies are not actually coming to banks, and the credit growth at for that sector is quite flat. In MSME, there is a marginal pickup. So what is the current situation?
Well, credit growth, the current year, we have certainly seen a very muted situation. And that, I think, to my mind, is a function of the demand. And if I may, some kind of a indication, we have seen as on 31st of March, we had about working capital utilization was just about 70%. 30% working capital was unutilized. And similarly, when it comes to the project finance, which we had sanctioned, about 28 to 29% of those limits remained unavailed. So that is the kind of a situation which we saw. But this is for the economy as a whole. But when we look at some of the sectors, which are essentially commodity-led sectors, there we have certainly seen some kind of a spurt. And there, in those very sectors, we have seen much better availment also. So that's one dimension of the credit demand from the banking system. The other dimension is that thanks to the liquidity which was infused by various central banks across the globe, there was a lot of money which was available in the system, and many corporates actually paid off their loans and raised the money from the market. The bond market, actually corporate bond market, witnessed a growth of about 9% last year, and also about 1.70 lakh crore worth of loans were repaid. So I think that is a very clear reflection about the change in trend when it comes to the corporates. So corporates are perhaps, since the easy liquidity was available in the system, so they were drawing upon the debt capital market and the equity capital market as against drawing money from the sanctioned limits. That is something which was seen. So how the trend will really unfold in the current year, I think the major impact is going to be from the demand side. If the demand comes back, I'm sure there would be better utilization, particularly when it comes to SMEs. They will have the confidence to borrow and also to really plow back that money into the business. And also when it comes to corporates also, if at all, in the current scenario, we are hoping that the global economy will do very well. And that is something which we have seen also in last about 3 months' time. We have seen our exports are maintaining the pace which was there in the normal years. So I think that's a very encouraging sign. So perhaps here the growth will also be led by the export, one sector. Apart from that, the infrastructure, which is essentially on account of the government spending for infrastructure projects. So I think, to my mind, these are going to be these two major growth engines, which will probably fuel the demand and also will have the ripple effect across the economy.
बिल्कुल सर, आपने बड़ा सही असेसमेंट दिया, लेकिन थोड़ा अगर इसको यूं समझना चाहें कि चूंकि डिमांड पर अभी प्रेशर रहेगा, तो इकोनॉमी को सपोर्ट देना एक बात है, लेकिन अगर आगे के लिए ग्रोथ के लिए बढ़ाना है तो इन्वेस्टमेंट की भी डिमांड चाहिए, जिसके लिए आपने बहुत अच्छे से समझाया कि क्या मुश्किलें हैं। ऐसे में क्या करने की जरूरत है? जैसे आपने एक्सपोर्ट का जिक्र किया, वैसे ही हाई वैल्यू एडेड सर्विसेज सेक्टर दूसरा स्पेस है। तो अभी अगर प्रायोरिटाइज करना हो हम लोगों को बिग पिक्चर प्लान करने के हिसाब से, तो इम्पीटस कहाँ देना चाहिए ताकि इन्वेस्टमेंट डिमांड भी पिक अप?
देखिए, एक जो बजटरी स्टेटमेंट था गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया का, जिसमें कि इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के ऊपर काफ़ी फोकस किया गया था, मेरे ख्याल से वो कोविड के चलते थोड़ा उसमें डिस्रप्शन आया, लेकिन अभी फिर से जैसे कोविड जो अनलॉक जैसे जैसे हो रहा है, तो वैसे वैसे जो है सिचुएशंस बड़ी फेवरेबल बनती जा रही हैं, और उन फेवरेबल सिचुएशंस में अगर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर प्रोजेक्ट को एक बार फिर से पुश मिलेगा, तो इसमें पूरा एक तो कोर सेक्टर को ग्रोथ का अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलता है, और दूसरा ग्रोथ उसके अलावा जब कोर सेक्टर में ग्रोथ की अपॉर्चुनिटी आएगा तो उसका रिपल इफेक्ट पूरी इकोनॉमी में आएगा, और उससे डिमांड भी जो है, डिमांड को भी पुश मिलेगा। मेरा ये मानना है कि ये सबसे बड़ा ग्रोथ इंजन साबित होने वाला है।
जी बिल्कुल। एक चीज जो आप सब लोगों को और हम लोगों को लगातार चिंतित रखता है, वो है एनपीए के नंबर। चूंकि अभी 1 साल का तो मॉरिटोरियम लग गया आईबीसी के हिसाब से, लेकिन अब नंबर आना सामने शुरू होंगे। इस पे कुछ आप लोगों ने एक असेसमेंट बनाया है, कैसा दिख रहा है?
बड़ी अनसर्टेन सिचुएशंस हैं फिलहाल। हालांकि पिछले साल तो जो है एनपीए काफ़ी कुछ कंट्रोल में था, कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर में पूरे सिस्टम में जो है काफ़ी अच्छा प्रोविजन कवरेज रेशो था, और उसके अलावा आईबीसी के आने के बाद जो एक इकोसिस्टम डेवलप हो गया है, जिसके माध्यम से ब्राउनफील्ड कैपेसिटी का रेजोल्यूशन संभव हो पाया है। तो उस तरह की जो एनेबलर्स क्रिएट हो गए हैं इकोनॉमी में, उससे जो है आईबीसी के अलावा भी बहुत से और साधन संभव हैं, जिनको यूज करके एनपीए की परेशानी से निपटा जा सकता है। तो आई थिंक जैसा कि आप जानते हैं कि इस साल अभी बैड बैंक और एनएआरसी और एनएएमसी का जो एक स्ट्रक्चर क्रिएट किया गया है, वो भी एक इसी दिशा में एक बहुत बड़ा महत्वपूर्ण कदम है, जिसके माध्यम से बहुत से बैंक अपना जो एनपीए रिलेटेड जो इश्यूज हैं उनको रिजॉल्व कर पाएंगे।
I want to understand your latest thoughts on IBC. We have now seen the numbers that banks have taken 60% haircut, and deadlines are not getting followed, and there are legal complications. So the learning has been that it has been not as successful as was desirable. So how do you see situation going forward? And do you see the trend of outside IBC, outside NCLT settlement picking up?
I think IBC, of course, the expectation was that it will deliver very fast, but I must also put on record a fact that the way IBC has got stabilized in this country, I think it is a very, very remarkable achievement, because even in the best of the economies like US also, it took more than a decade for the insolvency code to stabilize. So I think that is one part. But yes, of course, whenever any such new initiative is taken, there is always a need for creating capacity. So that is something which is an ongoing effort, and it is not merely at IBC level. It would be at the resolution professionals level also. It would be for the whole of the ecosystem which is required, created for making IBC a success. I think as of now, there are many moving parts, and they are moving at different pace. I am quite hopeful that going forward, it will further stabilize and it will further help the system to have the resolution faster. Having said that, I must also mention that last 1 year, when the IBC was not in operation for a greater part of the year, banks had got into a situation where they had started working on their stress assets, which led to a situation where even the compromise settlements started happening, outside IBC settlements started happening, because essentially there was a demand which was available for the brownfield capacity, and since that demand actually got created because by virtue of the ecosystem which got created post introduction of the insolvency code. So I think that was a very major step which we need to acknowledge. and more so for an economy like ours, which is actually capital deficient. So there is hardly any scope for the brownfield capacity to languish. So to that extent, I think in last 1 year, the kind of resolution which we have seen in out of court settlement or maybe compromise settlements, that actually augurs very well going forward. Maybe perhaps we'll have a situation where the resolution will also move faster. Now since IBC is also has started functioning, I'm quite hopeful that we'll get to see even better results in the current year.
राइट ऐसे तो मिस्टर खरा ये DHFL का मैटर कोर्ट में है, लेकिन एज अ प्रिंसिपल इशू मैं लेंडर्स व्यू समझना चाहूँ कि कोई प्रमोटर वापस इस तरह से लेना चाहे, और दूसरा मसला जो नया है पर्सनल गारंटी, तो क्या आप इनकैश करेंगे?
अभी चूंकि कोर्ट में है तो सब जुडिस होने के नाते मेरा अभी इस विषय में कुछ ना कमेंट करूं तो अच्छा रहेगा।
ओके अब थोड़ा सा टॉपिक बदलते हैं सर। सुपर ऐप की बात आपने कही है, डिजिटल प्ले बढ़ना जरूरी है। बहुत लोगों को ऐसा लगता है कि फिनटेक कंपनीज इसमें बहुत आगे रही और बिग लिगेसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस इंक्लूडिंग बैंकिंग सेक्टर थोड़ा सा पीछे रहा। तो अभी डिजिटल लाइफ में आप लोग कहाँ पर हैं?
देखिए, हम लोगों के कस्टमर बेस है तकरीबन 45 करोड़, और उसमें से हम लोगों ने हम लोग ऑनलाइन बैंकिंग जो हम ऑफर करते थे वो तो हम कई साल से ऑफर कर रहे हैं, और उसमें अभी कस्टमर बेस है तकरीबन 9 करोड़ लोग जो है हमारा इंटरनेट बैंकिंग यूज करते हैं। हमने तकरीबन 3 साल पहले जो है योनो ऐप के नाम से एक सुपर ऐप हमने क्रिएट किया, में कि आज जो रजिस्ट्रेशन है वो तक 4 करोड़ के करीब है। तो आप ये मानिए कि हमारा जो डिजिटल ट्रांजैक्शंस हैं वो 31 मार्च 2020 में तकरीबन 59% था, और वो बढ़कर जो है 31 मार्च 21 में 67% हो गया। एक साल के अंदर अंदर 8% का उसमें इंक्रीज हुआ है डिजिटल बैंकिंग जो यूज करते हैं। बैंक की ब्रांच से बाहर जो ट्रांजैक्शंस हो रही हैं उसमें वो 93% ट्रांजैक्शंस हो गई। सो डिजिटल को बेसिकली जो एक इतना इम्पिटस मिला है उसका कारण हम लोगों के एफर्ट्स के अलावा जो इकोसिस्टम क्रिएट हुआ है वो भी है। यूपीआई का एक्सेप्टेंस इकोसिस्टम जो है उसने बहुत एक कस्टमर के जो बिहेवियर है उसमें बहुत चेंज कर दिया है। कस्टमर का बिहेवियर, मर्चेंट का बिहेवियर, सबके बिहेवियर में चेंज हो गया है। तो आने वाले दिनों में हम लोग इसके ऊपर हमारा विशेष फोकस रहा है और रहेगा भी आने वाले दिनों में भी, और हमारी कोशिश ये है कि हम अपने ग्राहकों को बेहतर से बेहतर डिजिटल सर्विसेज ऑफर करें, और ये एक डेस्टिनेशन नहीं, ये जर्नी है। तो हमें ऑन ऑनगोइंग बेसिस इसके ऊपर काम करते रहना है, और इसमें आप देखेंगे आने वाले दिनों में हम काफ़ी काम करेंगे।
जी, एक जो जनरल सेंस है अगेन कस्टमर पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से, वो ये है कि ये इस तरह के जितने ऐप हैं उनके बारे में एक हेजिटेशन है, और वो शायद ईज ऑफ ट्रांजैक्शन को लेकर के है। आपका चूंकि बहुत ही बड़ा बेस है तो उसमें लेटेस्ट कस्टमर फीडबैक क्या है, लर्निंग्स क्या है?
देखिए, ऐसा है कि हम इस बारे में ये देखते रहते हैं कि हमारे ये डिजिटल ऐप किस एज के कस्टमर्स यूज़ कर रहे हैं और किस डेमोग्राफी से यूज़ कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि रीच रूरल, अर्बन, सेमी अर्बन, मेट्रो सभी जगह है, और वी आर वेरी प्राउड टू से दैट वी आर बैंकर टू एवरी इंडियन, एंड तो इसी के नाते हमारे जो भी ऐप होगा उसमें वर्सेटैलिटी तो होनी ही है, वो तो बहुत ही आवश्यक है। और हमारी कोशिश है कि हम इसको इम्प्रूव जो कर रहे हैं वो इसलिए कि ये ऐप इंट्यूटिव रहे, जिससे कि जिसको जो भी ज़्यादा सर्विसेज यूज़ करते हैं, हम लोगों ने इन ऐप्स को कुछ हद तक कस्टमाइज भी किया है। अगर कोई एक बिहेवियर को देखते हुए अगर कोई कस्टमर सपोज अगर रेमिटेंस ही करता है या अपना बैलेंस ही देखता है, तो उसमें वो एक हम लोग ये एक फंक्शनैलिटी प्रोवाइड किए है जिसमें कि वो ऐप को अपनी ज़रूरत के हिसाब से उसको इंट्यूटिव बना सकते हैं। लेकिन हाँ, अभी इसमें काफ़ी और काम करने की ज़रूरत है। जैसे मैंने कहा कि ये एक जर्नी है, डेस्टिनेशन नहीं। तो हम अपनी जर्नी में और तेज़ी से आगे बढ़ने की कोशिश में हैं।
जी, बिल्कुल। कितनी भी लाइफ में उतार चढ़ाव आ जाए इन टर्म्स ऑफ सेविंग एंड इन्वेस्टमेंट, और हम लोग भी चाहते हैं कि इक्विटी कल्ट बहुत फैले, बावजूद उसके जो सबसे बड़ा भरोसा है वो ये है कि डिपॉजिट में पैसे रख दो और एसबीआई में पैसे रख दो। तो एज ए डिपॉजिटर मैं आपसे ये समझना चाहता हूँ कि ब्याज और कितना नीचे करेंगे, थोड़ा ऊपर बढ़ाने का तरीका बताएं।
मेरे को लगता है कि ब्याज इंटरेस्ट रेट ऑन डिपॉजिट हैज़ बॉटम्ड आउट, क्योंकि जब भी हम ब्याज दर तय करते हैं तो उसमें इन्फ्लेशन का एक बहुत बड़ा कंपोनेंट जो हम मद्देनजर रखते हैं। तो उसको देखते हुए मेरे हिसाब से और और ब्याज दर में कोई कमी की संभावना बहुत ही कम है, ना के बराबर ही है। तो अब आने वाले दिनों में आप ये भी देखिए कि अभी चूंकि ग्रोथ नहीं है, तो ग्रोथ ना होने के कारण हम बोरोअर्स से भी बहुत ज़्यादा इंटरेस्ट रेट चार्ज नहीं कर सकते। तो चूंकि ओवरऑल ग्रोथ से ही इकोनॉमी आगे बढ़ेगी, तो उसको मद्देनजर रखते हुए हमें शायद थोड़े दिन तक इवन लोन के लिए भी जो इंटरेस्ट रेट है वो भी हम जो है रिस्ट्रिक्ट करने की कोशिश में ही हैं। इसी रेट पर हम लोन दे सकें, जिससे कि हमारे जो कस्टमर्स हैं जिनका कि कुछ लोन लेने का विचार है, वो अपना लोन लें और अपना काम आगे बढ़ाएं। ये हमारी कोशिश है। उससे और अधिक इनकम जनरेट हो और उसके बाद हम कुछ और अगर हो सके तो हम डिपॉजिट का इंटरेस्ट रेट भी बढ़ाएंगे समय के साथ साथ।
तो ये बहुत सेफली कहा जा सकता है कि इंटरेस्ट रेट बढ़ाने का इंटेंट आपका पक्का है, आने वाले महीनों में कुछ हम बढ़त देख सकते हैं।
जैसे भी कभी इसकी एक लीवे मिलेगा तो हम जरूर कुछ कोशिश करेंगे इसमें।
बिल्कुल। और चलते चलते आखिरी सवाल वापस, coming back to MSME sector, if you were to give them a sort of advice in the prevailing situation, what would be your key advice to them?
I would very strongly suggest that they should stay positive, they should stay optimistic, and they should repair their cash flows at the earliest, and should come back with the economic activity at the earliest. As far as support from the system is concerned, we are all there to support them and see that they do the roaring business going forward.
Absolutely. Cautious optimism and a great advice from you, Mr. Khara. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Sanjay ji. All the very best.